Autonomy says that under no circumstances will a breach of Agreement 1 or a breach of Agreement 2 or a breach of Agreement 3 or a breach of Agreement 4 or a breach of Agreement 5 affect payment under Agreement 6. Letter of credit stand on 3 legs. There is the principle of autonomy. Let me show you something about LC. Look at, in an LC there is an issuing bank, right? There is an importer, right? In some cases there will be confirming bank, right? And there is an exporter's bank, right? And then there is an exporter. In a typical LC, there's an agreement between the buyer and the seller. Agreement number 1. For the bank to issue the LC, there's an agreement between them. Agreement number 2. If this bank is funding the exporter, they have an agreement. Agreement number 3. If this is Citibank and it's confirming the LC, there's an agreement with the issuing bank. Agreement number what? 4. If this is Citibank, most likely you also have an agreement with this bank because it's the central bank of other bank in the world. Agreement number what? 5. And there's an LC that joins everybody together. Agreement number 6. Do you notice something? The LC is surrounded by at least 5 different agreements, at least 4 agreements. Autonomy says that under no circumstances will a breach of Agreement 1 or a breach of Agreement 2 or a breach of Agreement 3 or a breach of Agreement 4 or a breach of Agreement 5 affect payment under Agreement 6. That is why we said bank deal in document and not in good. If the good is defective, which agreement are we going to have recourse here? Agreement 1, that's under the agreement between the buyer and the seller. So don't call us into it. The else is an agreement between this issuing bank and the exporter. So even though it binds everybody together, autonomy says under no circumstances should a default in any of the agreements under an LC prevent payment. So you are a bank. You issue an LC, but you didn't debit the customer to warehouse the fund for payment. You now say, the customer has not provided money, you will pay later. That is the way some account officers treat letter of credit. Yes. They will say, actually, it's unconfirmed. We'll pay later now. It's unconfirmed. It's a letter of credit too. You have to pay. So what that means is that there's an agreement between the buyer and his banker, the importer and his banker. He's supposed to provide money, he has not provided, so he breached the agreement, right? That will not be a reason for non-payment. You know, sometimes banks do import financing with letter of credit, and the letter of credit is tenor. So the LC says payment will be made in 180 days after shipment, so that the good will have been cleared and payment will be made. And bank use letter of credit to finance that transaction. When that payment is due in future, if the customer does not pay, the bank has to pay. That's why sometimes a bank will want a collateral. Or the bank will use the inventory as collateral. But they have a teller implant. I remember when I was in the bank, I was in the branch in Diamond Bank. I had a colleague, it's the era of cash now, no transfer. I had a colleague that go to Obac Oil every day because we gave Obac Oil loan. So every day, all the payment for the oil is what I'm collecting. I give deposit and stamp it. It's the deposit slip that they're going to go and use. So then they will call our bank, the bullion bank, before he leave, they'll come and pack all the money before he come back to the branch. Every day. Why? Teller implant now. Because we are using letter of credit to finance. The good has come, and the good is the collateral. The guy, if we are not there to collect that, if we are not there to collect our money, we might finish selling the good and we don't have the money. So we do teller implant because we are using letter of credit to finance and payment is due in future. Bank deal in document and not in good is another principle of documentary credit. And the last principle is strict compliance. Strict compliance. The principle of compliance is so important. If a document is presented, the LC says consignee, ABC Limited. Okay, let's use consignee Union Bank, UBN PLC, or UBN. That's abbreviation, Abi. That's on the LC we put Union Bank, but the document shows UBN. Yeah, some people raise that discrepancy. So there is a rule called international. Don't worry about this one. This is for trade operation. But it's good. International Standard Banking Practice. The rule says an abbreviation, particularly general abbreviation like kg, kilogram, mt, metric tons. You know them now? Exactly. It's not a discrepancy. General, well-known abbreviation is not a discrepancy. But if the good is supposed to be shipped January 31st, but the good was shipped February 1, that's a discrepancy. Even though, how many days difference? 1. That can be a reason for not payment. Strict compliance says you must cross your T's and dot your I's. In strict compliance, the principle says you must cross your T's and dot your I's. If you do not cross your T's and dot your I's, you stand the chance, a big chance of discrepancy. And by the way, out of 10 documents presented globally, 7 are discrepant. Can you see why letter of credit is a nuisance? Can you see why it's a nuisance? So business people are jettisoning letter of credit and finding a way to do their business. Because when there's a discrepancy, you can delay payment, and that can drag the transaction for a longer than necessary time.